Hey everybody, just waiting to see if anybody is there yet before I get started. I just thought because it was a really cold, wintry day, and Luna just had a massive sleep on me, and I felt like I had a little bit of free time and John's going to hang out with her and have a little cuddle. I thought I could smash out a bit of a workshop, an essential oils workshop. So it's going to be a little bit random. I haven't done one of these before, but we'll give it a go and see what happens. Hopefully I don't get interrupted by Luna having a little scream fest and have to run away from you all, but fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. Hey Meg, awesome to have you here as per usual. Love having you around. I'll just wait a little bit longer. So with this workshop today, I'll try and do it based around just one of our essential oils, sort of 101 intro workshops, which some of you might already be familiar with, but it's really nice to have a little bit of a refresher with some of the oils so that we can see how we can use them. I'm also doing a promotion for the next few days for June, which is pretty amazing. I'm giving away some free oils for people who want to join up with kits, but I'll tell you about that later on if we get time. Yay! So yeah, I'm really excited. We'll give this a go. Hey Emma, nice to have you here too. You've just joined up, so it's really lovely having you around, and you can learn a little bit more about all the oils as well. I've also, hey Mark, how are you going? Awesome to have you here. I've also got a couple of workshops coming up. There's actually one tomorrow, which is at the beautiful monastery with Misty, and that's a green cleaning workshop, and that's going to be from I think 1 until 2:30. If you wanted to come along with that, just shoot me a message and I can book you in. Otherwise, we're doing a green cleaning one at Organic Mojo, our shop, on Wednesday night. I've got one from 7 till about 8:30, and then another one on the 1st of July, which is a Sunday, from what time have we got that? Like 4 until 5:30. So they're all green cleaning based. So it's like learning how to use the oils to safely and effectively clean your home without toxins, really cost efficiently, and also way more environmentally friendly. You're not using nasty chemicals and using lots of packaging. So that's some stuff that's coming up. So I guess we will get started with the little workshop. So I'm gonna see how we go for time. The aim is to sort of get through the top 10 oils, but we may not have a chance to do that. Firstly, I'll just really quickly go over, for all of you guys probably pretty familiar, but I'll do it anyway, over what an essential oil is for anyone who doesn't know, and for guys who might be watching later on. So essential oils, if you're not familiar, basically extracts from plants. So we're looking at plant medicine, nature's medicines, whether it's coming from the leafy part of plants, the stems from the plants. It could even be the roots of the plants, the flowers, and most of the time, and even the fruit, most of the time, the way we're getting these essential oils is through a steam distillation. Occasionally it's a cold press. When we're looking at any of the citrus oils, they're always a cold press, so they're just basically getting squished. Most of the time it's steam, and then the essential oils are being removed from the plant in that way, and you've got just a really potentized, strong extract of the plant and medicine. I might just quickly see if it's someone who's wanting to friend me so that they can be part of the workshop. Sorry, just 1 second. Right, all good. So you've basically taking the volatile oils from the plant, and those are the oils that the plant's using in nature to help protect itself in the environment against threats. So it might be against different bugs, it might be against environmental threats, weather, fungus, molds, all sorts of things. So we're kind of I guess borrowing the defense mechanisms of the plants and through this extraction, and then having them in a highly potentized form in the essential oils, which we can then use for medicines. And luckily, being humans, we can pick and choose what we want. We can work with nature to bring things into our lives to help heal us on many different levels. So I mean, that's kind of what an essential oil is, I guess, in a basic way to look at it, but we're really just when I'm talking about them, I'm generally talking about them to use as a medicine. You can also be using them, obviously, just because they smell awesome, but there's so much more to them than that if you are getting pure, high-quality essential oils, and that's a really important thing to look at. Not all essential oils are equal, and even oils that say 100% natural on them, you would be surprised how the labelling can be done where you will be getting synthetic components and just crappy quality oils. So when I'm talking about using them medicinally, I'm only referring to a high-quality oil, and for me personally, that's doTERRA, because they're highest testing and standards in the world for oils, and we can use them in a lot of ways that I would otherwise not recommend using essential oils. So it's really cool when we're looking at the doTERRA. So always have that in mind when I'm talking about them. We want to be talking about a super high quality oil. So as some of you guys know anyway, I'm a little bit of a plant herby sort of nerd, and essential oils are something for me that I wasn't super absorbed in. We used to sell them in our other shops. We had some really beautiful oils in there, and I mostly was still using them for the emotional benefits, the olfactory benefits, where we're smelling them and doing more of that emotional, spiritual kind of healing. And then since I've been getting back into the plant medicines, I've been finding that I've almost overtaken all of my dried herbal medicines and other extracts with the essential oils. So in terms of potency, when we're looking at something like peppermint, which I'll talk about now, peppermint essential oil of the doTERRA, 1 drop of oil is equivalent to 25 to sort of 27 tea bags of peppermint tea. So they're super, super potent. So we do need to be cautious with how we use them. We don't want to go splashing them all over the place and drinking heaps of them, because you just don't need to. And that's what makes them really amazing, is that a little amount goes a very, very long way. So on that, we'll have a little talk about the peppermint. So these are all the doTERRA oils. This is the peppermint here. The peppermint is one of my most used oils. As you can see, the bottle's like almost empty. Peppermint's beautiful just to have around. Like if we're getting our peppermint out, one of the ways I'm using it most, I'm just grabbing the bottle. I do this with all of them, but I love doing it with peppermint. If I'm feeling a little bit, I guess, depleted at the moment with a new baby, I can have moments where I'm feeling a little bit tired and a little bit brain dead and a bit like brain malfunction. I'll get the peppermint out. I'll just have a sniff without touching my nose. The peppermint is really hot. You don't want to touch it and then rub your face. This goes for all of the oils, but particularly the peppermint's one of these. It can be quite hot. So I'm just getting it. I'm having a big smell. And I'm breathing that, and I'm breathing it right down. It's all through my sinuses into my lungs. And for me, that's just a moment of like peace and clarity, I guess, and I find it really uplifting. Emma's just asked me a question. Yeah, I'm perfectly happy with putting the peppermint in the diffuser with kids and babies. The diffuser is really the best way with kids and babies to work with the oils, because they can be breathing them in and you're not sort of flooding them with the oils. You obviously don't want to like stick them in a bedroom with the door shut with the diffuser on. You just want to have it in quite an open space, make sure there's a lot of airflow. And I love putting peppermint in the diffuser for that reason. At the moment, we are smashing through the peppermint, hence why there's not much left. John is like obsessed with it at the moment. He's had a bit of a coming and going, like a bit of a sinusy, sore throaty thing like a lot of people have at the moment. He was struggling to sleep. I wouldn't normally recommend peppermint for sleep because it can be quite stimulating, but he had a sore throat and was struggling to get to sleep because it was like scratchy and a bit painful. And he's just been putting a drop of peppermint directly in the mouth, and it's just been like explosion, clearing all those sinuses out, and he was able to sleep. You do have to be cautious because, as I said, they're really, really strong, and some people are more sensitive than others. But the amazing thing with doTERRA is that because we know the purity of the oils and they're the highest quality oils in the world, these are the only oils that I would safely ingest in my body. And even with the lid on now, I can really feel it up in my face. So peppermint, uplifting, nice and stimulating. I've even used it, as some of you guys know, I don't do any caffeine, don't drink coffee, I don't even drink black or green tea anymore. And even on drives, I'll have this in the car. I've been driving with Lena to my parents, quite a long drive, and I'll just have this and have a deep breath, and it's just that refocusing and alertness. Breathing it in, trying to use it to clear out all those sinusy respiratory things, popping it in the diffuser, and it just smells amazing. The other use I have for the peppermint, which I use quite a lot, is in food. And as I said, because they're super high quality oils at doTERRA, we can do this. So peppermint is one that I'm always putting in bliss balls. I've got a really great recipe that Misty gave me for making your own bliss balls. It's just like cacao, dates, some nuts, you blitz it up. And for like about, I guess like 20 like mid-sized bliss balls, you only need literally 3 drops of the peppermint oil. It's really, really, really strong. So that's all you need, and that shows you how strong they are. Peppermint, another one as well, like we can use that a little bit for digestion, and you can use it for that diluting it down and applying it topically to the body. You always want to dilute the peppermint if you're putting it on your body, particularly if you're sensitive, because it is really strong. So when I'm talking about diluting them, I'm talking about mixing it with the carrier oil. There is like this one, fractionated coconut oil from doTERRA. I use this. Valerie's Pantry in Geelong actually have in bulk fractionated coconut oil, and it is an amazing price, and I've just discovered that, so I'm really excited about that. So when we're diluting them, it just basically means they're safe to put on the skin directly, and apart from that, it actually helps them absorb through the layers of the skin into your bloodstream a lot better. Sometimes if you put them directly in your skin, a lot of the volatile compounds in the oil that we want will actually evaporate before they hit the bloodstream. So if I'm doing a dilution with these oils and I'm putting them on my skin for an adult, I'm generally looking at 10 drops of oil to 10 mils of carrier oil. I make up all these little things here. So these are little bottles. This one's got lavender peace blend in it. So this would have 10 drops of whatever oil, and then the rest of it would be filled up with the carrier oil. You can just do it in a little bowl or something and put it on your body, but these are a great thing to use. You can get these from a company called Aromatools, the Australian company of that. There's an American as well. It's au.aromatools.com. They're really cheap. They're like $1 or $2 each. That's another way you can use it. And so with the peppermint, I could put it in a roller, and you could be putting it on your wrist, smell it, uplifting, even on the chest, particularly now with winter and all the sinusy stuff. So that's peppermint, one of our favorites. Next, I'm going to grab out this one. I'm sure everyone who's ever smelled an essential oil in their life has smelled lavender. So we've got the lavender here. Lavender, a lot of people don't like because they kind of think of old lady smell when they think of lavender, and like those little lavender sachets that people have in drawers with their underwear that smell a little bit tacky. But I'm here to say that I've always loved lavender, but the doTERRA lavender is like beautiful. It is next level. You won't have smelled a lavender like it. It's not like sort of, what's the word, like sickly sweet and chalky and a bit there. It's like really beautiful and fresh and quite earthy and grounded. The reason for that is, again, with doTERRA being the highest quality oils in the world, all of the plants that are being harvested for these essential oils from doTERRA are growing in their indigenous habitat. So the oils are coming from all over the world, and they'll be sourced from the location where that plant has grown its like entire life, and it is growing there for a reason. We get the highest quality from them in that way. So you're getting all the volatile oils that we want in the correct balance to make them highly medicinal. It also means that environmentally it's much better. The plants grow easily. We're not having to, the farmers aren't having to add a lot to the soil. The plants are all grown organically as well, which obviously is super, super important. And the cool thing with that, with the plants being grown all over the world, it means that 2/3 of our oils are actually coming from third world countries. With that, it means that we're actually offering employment opportunities for a lot of people who otherwise don't have anything. doTERRA doesn't own the farms or go in there and buy up and put on workers. They actually go into the areas where these plants have already been farmed for generations, and then they're connecting with those farmers, paying them amazing prices. Often it's 10 times more than they've been paying because a lot of the time they're getting screwed. And they'll also set up a lot of infrastructure for them with their foundation. So in Haiti, for example, the community where they were getting the vetiver from had no access to clean water even for drinking. So the first thing they did, they worked with those farmers, and then they brought in a whole water pipe system so the community had access to clean water. That's just one example. So that's also why the oils are so beautiful and so pure, because they're grown where they want to be grown. The lavender, I think, is grown in Bulgaria at the moment, and I can smell the difference with that. So does anyone know what we might be using lavender for? There's a few things that might come to mind for most people. You don't have to be shy. I can just say, but a few things. Lavender, I think when we have a smell of the lavender, the main thing that most people are thinking of with lavender is for relaxation, stress, and sort of anxiety. So lavender is one that I'll have around, that I'll have in the house. I'll pop it in the diffuser with some other beautiful oils at night time so that I can be having that going in the diffuser. Yep, awesome, Meg, sleep, you're onto it. We'll have it in the diffuser in the evening to help sort of calm the house down. John's a terrible sleeper. There's a blend called Lavender Peace. He came into the room at 4 o'clock in the morning. Luna was already awake and was struggling with her. I'm getting her back to sleep, and he came in and was like, I haven't slept, I've been anxious all night. Gave him the Lavender Peace blend, so that's lavender with a few other oils, whacked a bit on his temples, and was out of it, came back in the next morning. We're sleeping in different rooms at the moment with a little baby, it's just easier. Came in the morning and was just like, oh my God, I can't believe how quickly that shut my mind off, and I was able to get to sleep. So lavender, amazing for this kind of thing. I also have the lavender around with me in a roller as well, just if I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed, stressed out, and I'll just have that and put some on. Lavender is one that I use, one of the only 3 oils that I use on Luna, who's 6 months old. So I have a little roller made up just for her, and it has 1 drop of lavender, 1 drop of frankincense, and 1 of Roman chamomile. And that roller is like my everything roller for her. So if she's struggling to get to sleep, I'll put a little bit on the bottom of her feet. If I've got to go in the car and she's cracking it, I'll put it on. Even if she's getting a bit of tummy stuff going on, I'll put it on her. So we love lavender. Also, like I'll be using lavender a lot. If I've burnt myself on the hand or anywhere like that, I'll just put a little bit of lavender on. But yeah, we're thinking like sleep, relaxation, de-stress, those kinds of things. Next, I'm going to try and smash this out. We're going to look at lemon. So lemon is an interesting one for me. It's something that I never thought I would ever use as an essential oil before I really got into doTERRA. Lemon is probably my most used oil out of all my oils in the entire house. So the main ways that I'm using lemon is we put a drop or 2 in bottles of mineral water, or even just in beautiful tap water to drink. So if you put it in like a fizzy water, you can get a really beautiful sugar-free lemony drink. You're also getting a lot of benefits from the lemon. Lemon helps remove free radical damage from the body and toxins, so it's a bit of a detoxer. It tastes beautiful. Lemon, I'm putting in the diffuser all the time because the scent is just so lush to have around the house, particularly when you're cleaning in the morning. It's super, super uplifting. If I have a little smell of it now, it smells, this lemon, it's so beautiful. It smells like when you get one of those really gnarly old bumpy lemons that you have growing on like a 50-year-old lemon tree in some like nice old Italian grandparents' house or something, you know, the ones I'm talking about, big bumpy knobbly ones. It smells like when you slice a knife through that and you get all those little splashes of juice and oils coming out of it. That is what this lemon oil smells like. It's pure heaven. It's amazing. I'm using this one as well in cleaning. So I make up pretty much all of our own cleaning products for the home, and it's ridiculously cheap and super easy. So my main go-to cleaning thing I make up is just a spray bottle, just a glass spray bottle. You can use plastic if you're recycling, but the lemon is very powerful. It will draw, and all the oils for that matter, can draw petrochemicals out of plastic. So I just prefer not to use that because I don't want to spread that around the home. Same thing goes if you're putting it in a water bottle, make sure it's glass or stainless steel. Otherwise you can be drawing crap out of it and drinking it. So with cleaning, I'm just putting, I'm getting a spray bottle, I'll be putting like a tablespoon to a quarter of a cup of just crappy cheap white vinegar in there, and then I'll put in probably 10 drops of lemon, about 10 drops of tea tree, and 10 drops of another blend called On Guard, which I'll talk about, and then filling it up with water. That's it. I do all my cleaning with that. So like surfaces, stove, bathroom, everything. That's all I use. I also love putting the lemon directly in the sink when I'm running the dishwater with just some plain soap. The lemon's an amazing degreaser. So anything that I'm trying to get grease off with, lemon, you can even, I made a little spray last night that was just vinegar, straight vinegar and drops of lemon to get an oil stain out of some of Luna's clothes that I dripped some oil on. So that's why I'm using it so much. I'm using it for cleaning. I'm using it in drinks. I'm loving the smell of it. And again, we can use it in cooking. I've made guacamole with the lemon oil when I've been out of lemons or limes. You can make bliss balls with the lemon, all sorts of things. So we love lemon, and it's one of the, well, I think it is the cheapest oil from doTERRA, and it's beautiful. All of these 15 ml bottles have about 250 drops of oil in them too, so they last you quite a long time. But if you're smashing through them like me, you'd be surprised with the lemon how quickly you'll go through it. Next, we might have a little look at, while we're on the cleaning front, I might talk about the tea tree. Most of us, if we're from Australia, are really familiar with tea tree. We've kind of grown up with it. So this is the tea tree here. The tea tree is one that I kind of have in my herbal first aid kit. Yeah, awesome, Emma. It's really excited. The oils are almost here, and the cleaning products is one of the best ways you can use the oil. So as I said, we've got some workshops coming up. Tea tree, you'll be using this one a lot if you're using it for your cleaning. So again, the tea tree is what I put in my spray bottle for cleaning. I also make something else up for cleaning called toilet bombs, which are here. I'm kind of calling them bathroom bombs now because I'm not just using them in the toilet. So these are like, I've got these in a jar here. I've got a video on my YouTube channel on how to make these. It's really easy. It's just bicarb soda, citric acid, and then essential oils. It's these three again, like tea tree, On Guard, and lemon. You add the tiniest spray of water in there, mix it all together, whack it in ice cube trays, and you've got these little cubey things that you can then chuck in the toilet, let them fizz a bit, mix them around, help get rid of stains. And I also put them in a bucket with some white vinegar, make it into like a bit of a slop, and then I'll spread that all over my shower through the bathroom, and it's like the best thing I've found for cleaning the shower. So tea tree, awesome for that. And tea tree is really great for mold, so that's why we're using it in cleaning the bathroom. Tea tree, I'm using it, sometimes I'll just pop a drop in the corners of the shower after I get the hot water going if I feel like I need to clear my sinuses a bit. And I just want that really nice, refreshing feeling. I've even actually done this with Luna. Last night she was a little bit snotty, and I just felt like it would help clear her sinuses a little bit before bed without being too strong. With little babies, you're using like a drop. You don't want to be using much at all. And tea trees in my herbal sort of first aid kit as well for any time that I get like a cut or a burn or anything stingy. I was cutting up some stinging nettle for some pesto last night, or the night before I think it was, and I just had a few little stings on my fingers. So just the tea tree, you can put it on straight or you can dilute it down again, and it can be really amazing for healing those things. So we love tea tree, and even in your washing, like tea tree is beautiful, and the washing gives it a beautiful uplifting scent, and I kind of feel like I'm in the bush a bit when I have the tea tree. Next, I reckon we'll talk about frankincense. Oh my God, this bottle is nearly empty. So frankincense here is probably one of the most amazing, beautiful, blissy oils I think that are around. I love frankincense. I think everybody loves frankincense. I don't think I've met anyone who dislikes frankincense. It's amazing. So, oh God, so good. So frankincense, when I'm thinking of frankincense, I'm thinking of like sacred, beautiful, bliss-filled, historic, ancient What else comes to mind when I think of frankincense? Meditation, yoga, calm, ancestry, all these things. Like the frankincense is one of our very special oils, and we think of frankincense of how important it is. If you think back to the fact that even in the Bible, the three things that were gifted to Jesus, even just from a historical perspective and a timeline: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. So you think frankincense has been highly revered for that long and considered as important as gold. That gives us a bit of an idea as to how powerful and amazing frankincense is. In my life, personally, with the frankincense, I'm using it a lot. I regularly put it in my diffuser. So many blends go well with frankincense in the diffuser. To me, it brings in like a really sacred feeling into the household. It's really great if I'm trying to do some meditation and I want to feel much more centered and grounded. I love smelling the frankincense. When I was doing yoga, when I was pregnant, I was using the frankincense. I feel it's a very safe oil to use. It's very powerful, but also very effective. I was putting a little bit of frankincense on the bottom of my feet and on my temples, and I was finding it super grounding and was able to really connect with that yoga space, and that I guess just being more present in the moment and connected with the breath and the process rather than having your thoughts sort of all over the place. I've heard of people using the frankincense who do struggle a bit with sort of anxiety and can't sort of center themselves, and they find just smelling the frankincense is a really great way to sort of bring them back down to earth and remember where they are. Frankincense, I'm trying to get in a habit of having a drop under the tongue regularly. There is some amazing, amazing medicinal stuff going on with frankincense, and there are a lot of research papers to support this. So if you go on pubmed.com and you research frankincense essential oil, there are a lot of research papers now showing how frankincense essential oil is proving to have effectiveness for dealing with Alzheimer's disease, a lot of neurological conditions. Also, people use it in cancer. All sorts of things. It's really, truly amazing. And I think now we're just starting to realize why it was held so sacred and so highly revered for such a long time. A lot of people call it God in a bottle. It's pure, pure bliss. So just having it around feels amazing, and I love it. And it's just so beautiful. It is one of the more expensive oils. And I think that's good in a way, though, because it makes you appreciate the sacredness of it. And the reason it's so expensive is if you've had a look at any of the co-impact sourcing videos from doTERRA, there's a beautiful one about frankincense. The frankincense from doTERRA is coming from Somaliland in Somalia. If you look at the images of where it's coming from, you've got basically like gnarly, rocky, dry deserts with these ancient, few 100-year-old ragged trees popped. It's called a forest, but it's kind of a desert. Looks like a desert to us, which is trees plonked around the place that have been in the same families for generations and generations. And the frankincense is coming from the resin from those trees. The really cool thing, this is another idea, gives you an idea of why doTERRA is such an amazing essential oil company. So since they've been working with the people who've had these trees in their families for generations, they've really brought a lot to this community. So these people were getting pretty screwed over big time by not really getting paid correctly for what the resin was worth. From the frankincense trees. doTERRA spent a long time negotiating with these people, forming a relationship of trust so that they could work with them and harvest this beautiful resin and bring it to the world. One of the ways that they've worked with these people is they've initially created shade houses. So the women who were processing the frankincense resin were sitting in the sun all day in the desert. They've now got a shade house that they can sit in. They also were hundreds of kilometres away from any other like emergency medical facilities. So they opened a medical centre for them. And they've also recently opened a school. So the community was asking for a school. They weren't able to send their children anywhere because they were so far away. They asked for a school for their boys, but doTERRA is a very women-focused company, and they said they would only build a school if the girls of the community were also to go to this school. So they've since built a school where they can be educated and sort of get more opportunity, because they don't have a lot of opportunity where they are, apart from working with the frankincense, and it gives them the capacity to gain skills that they might not be able to gain. It's really beautiful. There's a great video on this that you can check out on YouTube. And the cool thing with this is too, they've also made it a lot more sustainable. So out of desperation for finances, a lot of the people would who've had these trees in their generations are wanting to protect them, but out of desperation have over-harvested them on occasion due to financial need. Because doTERRA is paying them a much more suitable amount now for the oil, they don't have to do that. And they've also employed like an environmental sort of officer, and they send drones through these forests. They assess all of the trees and look at the damage of them, how they're healing after being harvested, and they just put little caps on them for the resin to come out harvest, and they're not chopping them down. And if there are any trees that have been over-harvested, they will put a mark on the map and on that tree, and it'll be left for so many years until it can renew itself. So that's another idea of how doTERRA is such an amazing company with sustainability and also supporting community around the world. So frankincense, amazing. This is one of your must-have oils in your home, just because it's so uplifting, so beautiful, so grounding, so everything, but also the health benefits are just mind-blowing. So have a bit of a suss with some research papers about frankincense. It's out of this world special. What else have we got here that I can have a little chat about? Next, I think we'll have a little look at oregano. So this is oregano here. So a lot of people are a little bit surprised while we talk about oregano as like one of our main essential oils. Does anyone know what we might be using oregano for? I mean, there's lots of ways, but does anyone have an idea of one way that we might use oregano? Can have a little smell of it. It is very, very strong. So the oregano is a very powerful oil, and when I smell that, it's almost, I love it, like I love the smell of it, but it's quite a repelling scent. I know that in terms of the emotional uses of the oil, oregano is said to be like a protective oil, and one that sort of pushes away what's not necessary. So the ways I'm using oregano mostly in my home is, apart from cooking, because you can put it in food, it's very powerful. I will make pasta sauces, you can do pestos, all sorts of sauces where you will add oregano. You'll, rather than putting a whole drop in, because it can be overpowering, it's good to just stick a toothpick in the top and then mix it in sauce, and you can always add more. So you can use it in food. That's one way that we're using oregano. But in terms of when we're looking at the oils more in a lifestyle wellness perspective, I'm using oregano as my go-to oil for if I think I'm getting sick. So at the moment, I've been putting the oregano on the bottoms of my feet regularly, just because there's so much seasonal illness around. So many people are sick at the moment, and I'm using it as a protective sort of precaution. So a drop of oregano on the bottom of my feet in the morning and night. You do smell a little bit funny, but it's super, super powerful. When we think of oregano, we're kind of thinking of it as like nature's antibiotic. So if you think about in that way what you'd be using antibiotics for, and we don't want to be using them so much anymore because we know they've been overused and they're not very effective anymore, think of oregano as your like amazing nature-y plant version of that. I know that in Canada and other countries they're really familiar with oregano, and it's something that they'll have out through the winter and cold and flu season to rely on to stop them from getting sick. It's super powerful. You can put it in capsules or like dilute it down with another oil and ingest it, and that's completely fine to do, but I just find bottom of the feet super effective. You have heaps of blood vessels in the bottom of your feet, and with the essential oils, once they get into a cell, they distribute to every cell in your body in a very short space of time. I think it's something like 20 minutes or something, so it's insane. So oregano is a must-have around the moment. And you can make some little blends. I've got a roller here, this one, which is my immune booster roller. And so this has got in it oregano, easy air, manuka, and lavender. And this is a great one to have around. You can just put it on yourself, on your feet, wherever, and you're ready to go. So that's oregano. Amazing. We just got a few more left, trying to smash through it. I can hear Luna getting a bit frustrated, so she obviously will want me to hang out with her soon. She's being very clingy at the moment, like I guess babies are. Next one we will look at on that topic is Easy Air. So Easy Air is an amazing blend from doTERRA. We're looking at all the blends now that doTERRA do that are really popular. I'll give you an idea of what's in the Easy Air just so you know. So we've got laurel, which is like bay, eucalyptus, peppermint, tea tree, lemon, cardamom, and ravistara and ravisara. So the Easy Air, when you get an idea of those ingredients, lets you know that it's a very clearing blend. If we think about what we talked about before with the peppermint, the Easy Air is referred to as the respiratory blend. So this is something that right now I would be smashing out in the diffuser all the time, and I have been, just as I said before, Luna's been a little bit snotty and a bit coldy, so I've been putting this in the diffuser throughout the day so that we're both able to breathe that in and feel a little bit clearer. I actually dropped some of this off with a friend last night who's full like cold and flu situation at the moment. I put it straight in her diffuser. She had it near her, was breathing it in to clear herself, and it actually gave her like a little chest rub made with it. So you can just get some coconut oil. If you want it to be a bit runny, you can sort of melt it a little bit and add a little bit of olive oil in it just to keep it from going completely hard, because at the moment it's so cold, it's setting a lot. And then you could put in a few drops of the Easy Air mixed together, and then you just apply it. You can apply it to your chest, around here where you've got, what are they called? The glands in your neck that often can get all inflamed and yucky when you're sick, even on your back and on the bottoms of your feet. And you've got like a DIY, non-dodgy, non-toxic petrochemical version of like a vapor rub sort of thing. So it's beautiful. And Easy Air was the first of all the oils that I had a really like wow moment with. I love this blend. When my oils first arrived, I joined up with Home Essentials Kit. I was really, really sick that day. I had come down with a massive head cold, sinusy, yucky thing going on. Chucked the Easy Air in the diffuser, put some on myself, and I reckon the next day I was like 90% better than what I was. So it's a really beautiful blend. Sorry, Luna's just out there. She's getting a little bit upset. I'm just going to be a few more minutes. Do you want to bring her to say hello?
I'll wait.
Okay, she's gonna wait for me. I've got to be a little bit quicker. The last couple I'm going to talk about are still blends. So Ice Blue, which is this one here. This one comes in a little 5 ml bottle because it's got some pretty hard to source and expensive oils in there. So when we look at this one, we've got wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, lang lang, helichrysum, blue tansy. It's actually a blue coloured oil. German chamomile, osmanthus. So this is one that's like our athletic blend. This also comes in like a pre-made rub that you can put on the body. It distributes it a lot easier, and it comes in a roller as well, or you can just get it like this. And this is what I do, and I make up my own rollers again. I'd be doing like 10 drops of this into one of these and filling it up with a carrier oil, whether it's fractionated coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, jojoba, whatever you've got, you can use. This one, because we're calling the athletic blend, so we're thinking around muscular sports kinds of things. So you can be applying this. I do apply it directly to myself, so I do have often get a lot of tension, sort of headaches that come through the back of my neck and through my jaw here to do with teeth, and I'll just put a drop of the Ice Blue directly on there, and I cannot tell you how amazing it feels. I was actually doing some sample bottles of oils for people a few weeks ago, and I spilled some of the Ice Blue, and I sort of had one of those moments where I realised I had a headache and why wasn't I using the oils. And I spilled some of it on the bench, so I just stuck my finger on it, put it on the back of my neck, and I reckon within half an hour, I just all of a sudden realised that I didn't have a headache anymore. It was amazing. Some people put this on as like a bit of a pre-workout thing. They'll put in a carrier oil, put it to muscles to help them loosen up. And also, if you've been doing a lot of strenuous activity, you can put it on afterwards. If you have a smell of it, it's a really unique smell. The wintergreen's really out there, and the blue tansy, and it kind of smells like a locker, like a footy locker room. It's got that deep, heaty, danker, rubby sort of smell. And some people will do massages with it. So if you think about how we'd use those things, that's how you can think about this. But super non-dodgy, beautiful oils in there. You can dilute it down. And again, you can use it a little bit like the Easy Air. Some people will apply it to the chest. It's got some similar oils in it for that clearing respiratory sort of vibe. So we love the Easy Air. Sorry, the Ice Blue, getting a bit carried away. Then quickly touch on this one, Digestin. Digestin's a really beautiful blend. Obviously, the name says it all. This is our internal blend for digestion. So this one's great to have around again in the first aid kit if you've got kids or yourself been exposed to things like gastro, vomity, nauseous, yucky things going on. You can have this one internally. So I have done this recently. I was feeling a bit sick. I put a drop of it in a large amount of water and just drank it. It's got a beautiful taste. It kind of tastes a bit licoricey and pepperminty all at the same time. If you look at the ingredients with it, we've got aniseed, peppermint, ginger, caraway, coriander, tarragon, and fennel. So it gives you an idea, all those nice digestion stimulating oils. You can just dilute it down, and if you're using it with kids, you absolutely would dilute it down. I wouldn't give it to them internally. I even have a roller made up for Luna, which has 1 drop to a large amount of carrot oil, which I have put on her tummy if she's a little bit yucky in the tummy. So just one second. Yeah, I know. Just hang on, but so the digestion I don't use a lot because I'm pretty lucky with digestion, but I do know a lot of people who have issues with certain food intolerances and are just a bit sensitive to things, have relied on the Digestin if they're having a bit of trouble, and they can either put it on topically or internally. And yeah, as I said, it tastes beautiful. So that's another one. And then our last, but definitely not least, most amazing oil that we're going to talk about, which some people, even if you know nothing about doTERRA, they know of this one, which is called On Guard. So On Guard is our protective blend, and this is another one at the moment that I'm relying off. I smashed through this one for cleaning. I put in all my cleaning products. It's got some really amazing oils in it. So it's got wild orange, clove, cinnamon, leaf and cinnamon bark, eucalyptus and rosemary. And when you smell that, it's amazing. It kind of smells like Christmas in a bottle. The On Guard, at the moment, I've been again putting it on the bottom of my feet. I had a really sore throat the other day. I did a drop under the tongue. It's pretty intense like that, but I feel like it almost has cleared throaty stuff straight away for me. I use it in all my cleaning. I put it in the sink. I put it in the diffuser to help kill off viruses and yucky stuff in the air. And I know a lot of daycare centres are now doing that with the On Guard just to try and keep the kids well through this time of year. And the On Guard also comes in a whole range of products to show you how loved it is. It comes in like a washing liquid for your laundry, comes in soaps. It's like a hand sanitizer. You can get little beadlets of it, a spray. It's amazing. And On Guard, I'm always taking it with me if I'm going traveling, having On Guard, taking it to Asia, all those sorts of things. We love it. So trying to wrap up quickly just so Luna doesn't start screaming at me. Those are like our 10 most popular oils that doTERRA has on offer. The idea with these oils is that if you were to bring essential oils into your home, you'd only ever need these 10 oils, and that would cover every aspect of your life. And I've only talked about a few ways you can use them right now. It's almost like an endless list of ways that you can use these oils in your home for your health, for your emotional state, for your sort of spiritual life, everything can do with these oils. A lot of people, once they get these oils, they get a bit excited, and then they almost can't stop because they realize how many ways they can be using oils in their life, and just start bringing things in left, right, and center. There's a few ways you can get these oils if you are interested. As I said, I'm doing a bit of a promotion at the moment. So there is a kit called the Home Essentials Kit, and that consists of all these 10 oils in those size bottles with a beautiful diffuser. It's a super reduced price, and the diffuser basically ends up being free in this kit, which is amazing. And this is the way that I joined, was with the Home Essentials kit. I'm doing a special. It goes until the end of June, and there's just a few available. So I've only got this for a few people, which if you get a Home Essentials kit, I'm going to send out to you a free little bottle of wild orange, which is one of our most beautiful oils. You can consume it. You can put it in the diffuser. It's super blissy and uplifting. And also a 15ml bottle of the grapefruit. And the grapefruit, again, you can put it in water. Smells amazing. A lot of people use it in water regularly as like a metabolizing blend. So you get those for free, and that's worth about $33, I think. And then I've got a super amazing special for anyone who joins with the Nature's Solution Kit. The Nature's Solution Kit has all of these oils, and it also has a whole heap of the mood management oils. It has like the On Guard soaps. It's got some facial oils. It comes with a beautiful box. It's absolutely amazing. I can send you out some info on both of these anyway, if you would like. And with that kit, I am giving away the wild orange, the grapefruit, and a free bottle of patchouli, which is just bliss, and everyone needs patchouli in their life. If you want to know more about the oils and how you can get them in your home, or if you just have any other questions, you don't really have to clean out the diffuser before changing oils. Only sometimes give it a wipe out. The citrus oils can get a little bit built up in the diffuser, so give it a little bit of a wipe every now and again, but otherwise I don't. Yeah, if you want to know anything else about the oils, you want to get them into your home, you can shoot me a message on Facebook, shoot me an email. It's just earthlovegratitude@gmail.com. And also I've got those upcoming workshops that I mentioned earlier on, and I'd love to see you guys soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.